Why do domestic horses get shot if wild horses run perfectly barefoot? I'll explain it simply. I found a horseshoe. What does that mean that somewhere a poor horse runs barefoot? But in reality, why do domestic horses get shot if their wild counterparts run perfectly barefoot in nature? I'll explain it in detail and clearly. First, I'll tell you briefly about the horse's hoof and its structure. This is a unique thing, invented by cunning nature for better running. A horse essentially has only one large toe left on all four limbs, which is additionally covered with strong horny tissue. By the way, your nails are made of approximately the same tissue, dear reader. Yes, indeed, wild horses in no less wild nature do just fine without these horseshoes of yours. And only man thought of nailing additional steel shoes to horse hooves. Why, there are two main reasons. Now, dear friends, I will name them. The most banal one is that horses in the wild move on a more gentle surface. The natural habitat of horses is a zone of dry steppes with more or less soft soils. That is, wild horses gallop not on asphalt, ice, or cobblestones, but on soft soil. Moreover, with regular rest, at the behest of the body, soul, and heart, as they say. And that is why the hooves of wild horses wear out and grow back evenly. About the same as our toenails. Domestic horses are also forced to pull an additional load. A rider or a whole heavy cart. Simply put, there is a bonus that Mother Nature did not take into account when designing horse hooves, which thus wear out faster than they grow. As a result, the horse begins to walk, as they say, on a bare toe. It gets hurt and gets injured. That's why domestic horses need horseshoes. These devices compensate for the excessively rapid wear of hooves due to running on stones with additional weight. By the way, there is an opinion that it is not without reason that a horseshoe is considered a symbol of great luck. There is an interesting version that such a tradition dates back to ancient times, when the horses of cool kings and commanders of that time were shod with golden horseshoes on festive days. Finding such a thing made of precious metal in the road dust was really a great success for a commoner. It is interesting that people thought of making something to protect hooves from the very moment of domestication of horses. True, at first these were simple leather bags tied to the hooves with ropes. Then the bags were replaced by much more durable iron plates that were attached to the hooves with bent edges or special hooks. For example, the ancient Romans did this by putting special hippo sandals on their horses. But people didn't think of nailing horseshoes to horses' hooves with nails until quite recently by historical standards, only about 2,000 years ago. It is believed that this trick was invented by the ancient Gauls who lived in what is now France. So much for the barbarians. Horseshoes in their modern form were finally adopted around the end of the first millennium AD. Although the same Mongols, even under Genghis Khan in the 13th century, did not shoe their horses. At least because the semi-wild steppe nomads did not particularly like to drag forges and blacksmiths along with them. If anything, it was easier to change the horse itself. And yes, I will reassure my most impressionable readers. No, the horse does not feel any pain when a horseshoe is nailed to its hoof. The nail is driven strictly into the horny layer, without touching the sensitive core of the hoof. What kinds of horseshoes are there, by the way? Horseshoes for different types of horses are different. For example, soft low-carbon steel is used for horseshoes for ordinary horses. But for frisky race horses, especially those participating in races at hippodromes, blacksmiths make lighter aluminum ones. There are also rubber and even plastic hooves now. And even special horse boots, footwear for horses that you can simply put on without nailing them to the hooves. There are also special winter horseshoes with real spikes, almost like winter tires on cars. I will note that a metal horseshoe, alas, in addition to protecting the hooves, also brings harm to the horse. Because the impact load on her joints increases quite a bit, which inevitably leads to illness. What do you think? Maybe a person shouldn't interfere so rudely with the affairs of nature, maybe we should leave horses' hooves as they are.